Just a follow-up on my dust cyclone, which I built earlier this year, I guess it was. 77 litre, 20 gallon bin on the bottom and custom machine top. About 2 binfuls ago, so 140 litres, I washed the filter on my Craftex 1 horsepower dust collector, and I put a new bag on. There is some dust in that bag, but that is the dust which is in there is all that is accumulated after, well, 140 litres plus what's in the bin now. I've just noticed using the planer, which is where this hose is coming from, using the planer heavily over the last few days, that I'm starting to see a fairly rapid increase in the amount of debris in the bag. And the amount of debris in the bag is probably about 4 tablespoons worth before it was about 1. So I'm assuming this is filling up. I haven't actually looked yet. I've taken the clamps off. So this will be bin number 3. Prior to cleaning all of that, I cleaned all of this out. So the entire insides of this are now clean. If I open this up, it's looking pretty full in there. So I'd say that is why it's filling up, because we're right up to the edge. So we're now getting some debris slipping past. So that dark stuff is now walnut and rosewood. The light stuff will be maple and beech. And as you can see, it's starting to accumulate up. The interesting thing is you get a bit of material. The heavy material still makes it into the center of the cyclone, but it doesn't manage to make it up the dust collection tube here. So this little trap seems to do a really good job of separating the last of that material. Keep in mind that's all that's made it through after 3 cyclones worth. It's still just sealed by the 2 layers of weather stripping around the outside, and then I just clamp it down with just normal F clamps, like one on this side and one on the other side, because the DW735 planer does tend to inflate them somewhat. Other than that, I haven't really changed anything. One thing I have done is use some MIG welding wire, which is copper plated, on the hoses here, which I wrap all the way around. Mostly just to the joint. I don't actually have it going into the planer. That is then grounded into an electrical socket where I've broken the 2 power prongs off. So I've just got a ground wire, and that's this wire here, which is just a stripped extension cord wire, which I plug onto that because I was getting about 100,000 volt zaps off the hose, which is a little bit more than I would like. It feels quite hard. But yeah, it looks like the dust cyclone is going really well. The plans for it are on GitHub as SolidWorks files, so you can build your own. But yeah, dust bin, cyclone, really cheap dust collector, fantastic. Prior to adding this, well, obviously that bin would have been filled up probably, the bag, sorry, would have been filled up probably 8 times now. And prior to that, this bag seals very, very poorly on the Craftex 1 horsepower dust collector. I had a jet of dust all over the wall from where the filter doesn't seal properly, where the bag doesn't seal properly. It was just a complete nightmare. So if I turn this on, you'll see some circulation in there, but it's not really getting it worked up at the moment. There's only a very tiny amount in there. Really, it takes quite a while before it'll start circulating around. So this is, I would say, well over 99% efficient in pulling dust out of the air. Big cyclone, you can really see it swirling around through these windows when it's going. Like, you cannot see it all into there when the planer is running, and I'm not even at full tilt going down. I'm only taking off about 0.4 of a millimeter on each pass, and I can't see. All I see is just solid wood on these panels. So very efficient, very happy with it. It's working great.